Emmanuel. She averaged 16 points a game for them last year. Still trying to find that right combination of Hornets that can get the job done here this season.
Coming off their best point total against DePaul last weekend, but still looking for that first win as we are underway from the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. And right away, a big three-pointer knocked down by Sara Bejedi.
Yeah, Tanaya Latson draws all the attention in the paint and has the nice kick out to Bejedi.
Hornets coming right back, looking for a shot from Whitney Dunn from beyond the arc. Bejedi dials it up again. 2 knockdown threes just like that for number 4.
That's a way to get things started for Florida State. Bejedi shooting just 28%, but a confident three-point shooter nonetheless. Knocks down 2 big ones to get the Noles started.
28% from 3, you're right. That'll definitely boost that average up a little bit. It starts like that, so 6-0 for Florida State. Here's another 3, this run from Alexis Tucker. And the hot streak right out of the gates comes a bit cold there, but Florida State not shy of getting out to an early lead here against a Hornets team that's really trying to get off to a good start. Here's a shot off the mark by Ryan Tillis.
One thing this Florida State team is trying to do, they've said for the last 2 seasons since head coach Brooke Wyckoff took over, they're trying to get out and play with pace and space. And they want to get layups and they want to get threes. And there you see the layups weren't available, kickouts for threes were available, and Noles able to knock down 2 of those 3 to get off to the 6-0 start.
You just saw head coach Brooke Wyckoff, second full season as Seminoles head coach. As an interim head coach during the COVID year for former head coach Sue Seminoles. Deflection looked like there inside the paint as KK Timpson comes away with the ball, and Florida State will work back up tempo. Here's Tanaya Latson, and she gets a nice contested layup. The 2023 ACC Rookie of the Year gets her first points of the game. Hornets still looking for their first points. Cordesia Harris, who's coming off a 32-point performance against DePaul, best of her career, took that shot. And a travel violation against Kaya Sanders. Another turnover, and that's one of the big issues right now with Alabama State is their turnovers. They are giving the ball up way too many times. In fact, they're giving up about 27 turnovers a game.
And that's something we're going to keep an eye on here today. Florida State, one of the best in the country at taking care of the basketball. Noles only averaging about 11 turnovers a game. That leads the ACC in fewest turnovers.
1.5 to be exact. Florida State very disciplined. Good defense, however, by Cordesia Harris to deny Timpson a bucket. That'll be the matchup that we are going to keep our eyes on. Here's Harris once again from downtown, but just not a lot of accuracy right now from Alabama State. Bejedi slicing and dicing into the paint as Timpson gets around the hands of Harris. 10-0 Seminoles.
Seminoles have done a nice job defensively of forcing some out-of-rhythm shots for the Hornets, forcing Cordesia Harris away from the basket, making her shoot threes instead of those in-the-paint looks she's used to getting.
Hornets working the ball around. Timpson with eyes in the back of her head, literally had her back turned to the ball off the pass from Dunn. And that goes out of bounds. 6 seconds left on the shot clock for the Hornets.
Bejedi again draws all that defensive attention. Everybody knows she wants to get to the rim. Timpson left there.
Errant 3 ball from the Hornets. Here comes Omaria Gordon. She gets fouled by Dunn, and she'll go to the line.
Whitney Dunn, another player that had a career high in the last game for the Hornets against DePaul. She scored 23 points in that game. She's averaging about 7 or so per game. Commits the foul there. Gets the arm of Omaria Gordon.
Harris and Dunn combined for 55 points in that game against DePaul. Ended up only scoring 69, but again, that was their highest point total of the season. And unfortunately, they just haven't been able to keep pace with what's going on defensively. A lot of games where they've given up 90-plus points. In fact, 6 of their 9 games have resulted in their opponents getting beyond 90.
And expect to see the Hornets mix some things up defensively. Right now, though, it's just about transition defense. Florida State has been able to get out and run in transition. There we see KK Timpson with the big block on the defensive end for Florida State.
Big open lane for Sanders to go through, and Timpson shows you how it's done. even with being guarded hard. Gets the layup, and it's 14-0 Florida State already.
That was Tania Latson that time, taking it the length of the floor right at the rim, and then has to finish with some body contact. Rackridge.
Looking like Dasher and Dancer. Really cutting it up for Florida State. Does Tania Latson. We're in the holiday season, so you gotta, whatever you can do instead of slicer and dicer, slasher, dancer, you name it. Give me the reindeer names.
I love that you were in the holiday spirit here.
Of course. It's Florida State's holiday hoops event tonight.
Feels like it's cold enough to snow outside here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, it was just north of freezing temperatures this morning. But no icy conditions in Florida State. Not icy right now. They are red hot to start this game.
Yeah, not inside the Tucker Center here. As Florida State has jumped out to the big lead here so far.
Started with Sara Bejedi. 2 knockdown threes right out of the gate. Good spin by Carthers, but still unable to hit a shot. Hornets unable to really get inside much against the Seminoles. They're really locking down the paint. Timpson gets the pass and is fouled by Harris. Left-handed attempts.
Cordesia Harris there doing everything she can at 6'1" to try to keep KK Timpson from scoring. That's a tough task for the 6'1" senior from Mobile, Alabama. But you mentioned she's been fantastic for the Hornets so far this season. She's the reigning SWAC player of the week. She had those 32 points, 9 rebounds as well in their game at DePaul last weekend. She's averaging about 6.5 rebounds a game. Having a great start to this season. Here's Cordesia Harris.
As you mentioned, 1 rebound shy, that second double-double of the season. The go-to player for this Hornets team, leads the team in field goal percentage, points per game, rebounds, and blocks. So if you want boards and you want scoring, that's the player they're going to rely upon. But they're just trying to find answers as the double dribble charge to Shemaya Carthers. And the ball will go right back to the Seminoles.
Carruthers just looked a little unsure of where she was going to go with the ball that time. I think she was looking to try to pass, started to pick it up, but then realized she didn't have anywhere to go and tried to get it back on the ground. Officials ruled that that was a double dribble.
17-0 Florida State as we just passed the 4-minute mark in this game. Bejedi looking for a third three. Not on the mark this time. Hornets speeding things up. Summer Hicks. Nice shot on the floater. So Summer Hicks, who's averaging under a half a point a game, gets 2, the first 2 for Alabama State.
A freshman coming in and making an impact right away. Tania Latson making an impact on the other end for Florida State. Can't get the bucket to fall, but she'll go back to the free throw line for 2 more attempts.
Max Hicks has only played, entering tonight, 18 minutes in 5 games played. That's a really encouraging sign if you're afraid of Freeman Jackson, to see some of those other players step in and step up.
She's going to need some other players to step up, unfortunately, as that's going to be 2 fouls now on her leader, Cordesia Harris. I have to believe Harris is probably going to have to step out of this game for a little bit to avoid picking up foul number 3.
Latson gets the 2. So now 19-2 Florida State. And for Harris, it's going to be like that all night, but she might be getting a long break with already the 2 fouls here. Just a little close to 5 minutes into this game.
Tavares, the freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, going to check in. A couple of freshmen going to have to play some big minutes for the Hornets here in the post.
Hicks keeping that ball in bounds. However, turnover again. Bejedi on the mark and back in the scoring column with another basket.
8 quick points here, just 5 minutes into the game for Sara Bejedi.
Tavares now in for Alabama State against Timpson. Latson charged with a foul, pushing foul.
Latson trying to get over the top of that screen, just jumped out into the path of Whitney Dunn and gets whistled for her first personal.
So Alabama State gets that positive. She's super related to still be here in Montgomery, and it means I've done a lot of things right. And she's certainly trying to figure out what's right here, get things on the right track with Alabama State. But nevertheless, Melissa, just a great career and has found a real good home with the Hornets in Alabama.
Yeah, she's done a tremendous job there, taking the Hornets to 3 NCAA tournaments, WNIT berth as well, 3 SWAC regular season titles. Just an outstanding job and a well-deserved honor for her.
Timpson with 2, makes it 23-2, and it's a big basketball family she's a part of. Her husband, Lewis Jackson, was the former head coach for the men's basketball team at Alabama State, and actually a little slight connection here with Florida State as her daughter, Bianca Jackson, played at Florida State, also over at South Carolina.
Yeah, fans will remember her from her time here, had a great career here as a Seminole.
Got some pretty good coaching from a couple of legendary head coaches, Bianca did. But of course, her mom's been excellent with Alabama State in a very competitive SWAC conference. As Solanjali Ackridge gets a free throw for the Hornets, looking to double up.
And with those fouls by Cordesia Harris, Frida Freeman-Jackson has had to go with a very young group out there. She's got 3 freshmen on the floor right now.
Oh, what a pass by Latson, down low, right to Timpson. 1-2 combination between Latson and KK Timpson continues to reign supreme.
There's not too many better 1-2 combinations in this league or around the country than those 2.
Dynamic duo that a lot of ACC teams got a first-hand glimpse of last year, and still a season and maybe more together down the road. Another 3, this time from Ackridge, off the mark, and another attempt by Whitney Dunn. Hits the front of that rim. Latson driving again, gets fouled, draws contact against Ackridge. Back to shooting, will go to the line.
Hornets going to go a little deeper in their bench here now as they bring in a couple of other freshmen. And Janae Hall, 6'5" freshman from Atlanta, checks in. I believe that's Christian Jackson, the sophomore as well, checking in for the Hornets.
Jackson leading the team in 3-point percentage. They need all the help they can get to try and get back in this game, Melissa. And really, it's part of this situation where for Coach Freeman-Jackson trying to find a solid group of the core players here that can be on the floor for a majority of the time. Right now, she's trying to find a solid 5 and some players off the bench that can provide a spark, and not too many of those right now.
The Hornets have had a brutal schedule. Let's just put that out there. We haven't talked about that, but played basically all Power 5 teams. Have only had 1 home game, so they are battle-tested.
Big 3 from April Hooks.
It's another freshman in Hooks.
They can get some of these freshmen going a little bit. New blood, new energy can come off the bench. It could really provide a good moment and a little bit of momentum as they get closer to their conference play. They still have to go on the road against Miami next as their final non-conference game.
They will certainly be prepared for that SWAC schedule with the non-conference schedule that they have played.
And Aja Hall, a little too hard off the glass with that shot.
Good defensive play, yeah,
nice
steal.
Couple of good stops. This is exactly what Coach Freeman-Jackson wanted, a couple of consecutive stops for Alabama State. But they have to capitalize on it. Working the ball around and now slowing the pace, staying composed. Good pass inside as Hall able to put this one in. Alabama State getting a little good juju going their way, now back within 20.
And again, it is about consistency for this Hornet team. How many plays can you string together? Can you get stops in back-to-back and back possessions? You know, can you get a couple of scores in a row?
Carla Villegas off the mark. Snoop Turnage tried to get it, but it was knocked away by Sanders. So another stop for the Hornets. You mentioned it, how many road games they've played. 12 of their first 13 games this season are going to be on the road. Turnage, excellent reach preventing that ball from going into the paint. And here comes Latson again. And she gets fouled by Tavares.
And back to Snoop Turnage there on the defensive end. Those long arms, Snoop Turnage has been a difference maker for Florida State this season. Only averaging about 2 points a game, but she's the second leading rebounder on this team with almost 6 rebounds a game. And defensively, you see there what she can do.
Latson at the line for the Noles shooting 2.
Yeah, she entered tonight with 64 rebounds, only 37 behind KK Timpson, but still, nonetheless, pretty darn good average. Latson hits the first. Stop a stretch of no points for the Noles, but still no field goals for Florida State in the last 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So Alabama State doing a decent job so far of keeping the Noles off the floor, at least, from scoring more buckets and establishing more possession and momentum. Florida State still out in front by a good margin. We'll be right back after these messages. Seminoles mascot Cimarron for basketball games in the holiday spirit. Cheering on the Noles. 29-28 Florida State with about a minute left here in this first quarter. Caruthers taking a shot from outside. Had a couple hands in her face. Offensive rebound by Sanders in the corner. However, she might have stepped out of bounds. It'll go the other way.
That's a tough break for Alabama State as Sanders had made the hustle play, tracked down the loose ball rebound, and then just stepped on the sideline there.
Seminoles trying to get to 30 points before this first quarter ends. Maria Gordon's been pretty silent, but gets a big bucket driving away with the contact. And will go to the line for an additional shot.
Florida State's previous high for the first quarter was 34 points in the first quarter against Tennessee. On pace here, Gordon can knock down the N1 opportunity.
Good burst. You see the burst of energy these Florida State guards have, and they have a collection of them that can really get into the paint fast. Gordon misses the free throw, but collected quickly by Zakiya White. Give an extra possession to the Florida State team. A turnover, a rare one by Gordon. And now Alabama State has a chance for the last shot.
Quick hands by Jackson, just swatted that ball away.
A good catch by Hall, but gets fouled. Just under 10 remaining here in the first quarter, and she'll get a chance at some free throws. Yeah, Gordon does not turn the ball over a lot, Melissa. She has the best assist-to-turnover ratio on the Florida State roster.
Yeah, last time out against Drexel, Gordon had 7 assists, just 1 turnover.
Leads this team in assists entering tonight with 47. In fact, only came into the game with 13 turnovers on the season, so rare you see number 3 mishandle the ball. Villegas, not uncommon. She will knock down a big-time 3 and does so at the buzzer. One of the best three-point shooters in the game, adding to that Seminole lead.
Well, actually,
in the 2022 U17 World Championships and then also in the 23 FIBA European Championships. As Gordon knocks down another bucket for the Noles.
Another pure shooter for Florida
Another
State.
Pure shooter, indeed, as the Noles just continue to roll right along here on their home court.
Yeah, but back to Carla Villegas. She is going to be somebody that the Seminoles are going to have to count on this season throughout ACC play to knock down perimeter jump shots.
Absolutely elite if she's uncontested and still capable even with hands in her face, according to head coach Brooke Wyckoff. Why they got her. And
she has such a quick release on that shot. Doesn't need much space to get it off.
And you saw there on that shot before the before the quarter came to an end, how she kind of worked to her left just to get to her spot a little bit. So it wasn't exactly the most balanced shot taken, but as pure as it gets with that stroke. You're right, once ACC play comes around and you're in the grind, you need to gut out a couple games. You're definitely going to need some reliable three-pointers and three-point shooters, as you saw a block from Alexis Tucker. Kaya White there, long for the ride. Gordon in the corner for three. Rattles out. Very close to dropping. So it'll be a rebound and possession going to the Hornets.
Florida State's still shooting it well from beyond the arc, though. 43% three-point field goal percentage, and the Noles, as a team, shooting 65% from the floor. Getting good shots, good looks at the basket, and knocking them down.
Still, this Alabama State team not able to stop the bleeding for the most part. Wanting to get a close game this year, let alone a W. Still looking for that first win. And none of their games have been really that close. Mentioned 12 of their first 13 games on the road. A lot of those against some Power 5 teams. Even when they get to conference play, they're going to start their first two games on the road. Blocked by Villegas slightly. That ball is gobbled up.
That's another scrappy play by Christian Jackson. She's been aggressive on the defensive end for these Hornets.
In all honesty, really their most effective and efficient shooter once she gets in the game and has those attempts. She's only had 20 attempts in 9 games in terms of shooting the ball, but she's 50% from the floor. So she's made the most of her opportunities. And you can see the scrappiness and the will to get the ball and fight for her team. Tucker from top of the key. Swish. 30-point lead for the Seminoles now.
Alexis Tucker, one of the most accurate three-point shooters on the Florida State team, shoots it at nearly 33% from beyond the three-point line for the Noles this season.
One of the newcomers for Florida State, a grad transfer from UC Santa Barbara, finding her role with Florida State. Possession will remain with the Seminoles, 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Nice job by Sara Bejedi there to draw the defense to her, and then the little fill behind for Alexis Tucker.
She's not just a three-point shooter. Brooke Wyckoff said she can certainly shoot from outside, but can drive inside for some close-range shots, and really wanted her to be brought in and be an impact scorer, and she certainly has provided that. It's taken her a little while to find that role when you have stars like Latson and Timpson as the shot clock violation occurs for Alabama State. But Tucker's really finding her own here and at the right time for the Seminoles before conference play.
Yeah, Tucker averaging about 8 points per game so far this season, but had a big game to help Florida State knock off the ranked Lady Vols earlier this season. He's a key factor in that game down the stretch.
Real statement win for Florida State early in the year, just the second game. Kaya White working hard off a couple of missed shots and gets the putback bucket. Will also go to the line.
SK White, one of the best rebounders in all junior college last season, comes up with a big one there for Florida State. Just gets herself in good position, finishes through the contact.
White earning some valuable minutes for Florida State. Mostly through the work that she does on the glass, offensively and defensively. And Coach Wyckoff said she's been their most effective rebounder. In particular, a great scorer in the paint.
Yeah, a little bit undersized at just 6'1", but she plays a lot bigger than that, Trevor. Again, last season, she averaged 18 points a game, 13 rebounds at Jones College.
Solid transfer player, Latson, turnaround jumper, too short. Alabama State looking to pick up the pace. Dunn just a little bit off target underneath the basket.
I thought Tucker was going to pull the trigger on that one.
Bonner found Tucker in the corner. A little mishandled by Alexis Tucker, and Alabama State able to work the ball out. Keep the ball. 42-11. Noles firmly in control. Long way to go in this one. The Hornets are going to need a lot of stops here, especially in this second quarter, to at least trim that lead and that margin as much as they can. Carthers outside to Sanders, back to the top to Dunn. She'll take a three, nails it.
Nice.
Good stroke, step back away from Bonner.
I think that step back three from Whitney Dunn. Shoots at about 30% on the season from behind the arc. And look at Amaya Bonner. Oh, can't finish it, but nifty move from Bonner, the transfer from Cal.
Yeah, really smooth operation right there, but not able to get it down. Shot up by Sanders, who was all alone. Nice little floater as Alabama State getting a little bit of a tiny run going, but it'll be a media timeout here on the floor. Florida State still well in control, 42-16, as Alabama State looks to work and get...
State Farm estará ahí las 24 horas si los necesito.
24 horas.
Season, Latson leading the way with just shy of 19, but Gordon, Timpson, and Bejedi all providing impacts here, Melissa, early here for Florida State.
Yeah, when you look down the stat sheet, it's those same players who are leading the way so far. Tanaya Latson already in double figures with 11. KK Timpson with 8, Sara Bejedi with 8, Amari Gordon with 6. So some balanced scoring for Florida State.
Business as usual for the Seminoles, as Alabama State will gain possession here about halfway through the second quarter. Trevor DeGroat, Melissa Bruner with the call. Glad you're with us here in Tallahassee, Florida, as another missed pass by the Hornets go right back to Florida State.
It's good leadership, though, by Cordesia Harris. She knew that her teammate needed to make the extra pass to get a better angle. She communicated that to her. Hey, to make it easier on us, let's turn it this way.
Avery Treadwell getting some action, collects her own rebound, draws the foul on the shot. So the freshman out of Knoxville, Tennessee will head to the line. Talk about imposing the will for Florida State. Here's a player, Melissa, who obviously is just in her first collegiate year, but boy, she was an absolute machine down at the high school level.
Yeah, averaged a double-double on the high school level, and Avery Treadwell getting some valuable minutes here, again, as the Seminoles prepare for ACC play coming up right after the holiday break. Treadwell may be a player who's called on to step in and play some big minutes in the event that KK Timpson gets in some foul trouble or they have multiple post players that are needed at one time.
Saw some action actually against the number 2 ranked UCLA Bruins. And boy, do they have some talent, as usual.
And held her own, actually. Avery Treadwell did a great job having to defend the 6'7" Lauren Betts.
Literally a California Redwood out there.
She was a force inside for the Bruins.
And this time Treadwell charged with the foul as Cordesia Harris reestablishing herself in this game. She'll go to the line. But certainly a lesson if you go up against Bates and UCLA, you better at least double her and be ready to work on your half-court defense. And Florida State, to their credit, even getting down early in that game, Melissa, really fought and kept pace even after trailing heavily by a large margin. They kept the pace the rest of the way.
Yeah, we talked about how challenging the schedule is for the Alabama State Hornets. Florida State has played a challenging non-conference schedule as well. When you talk about going on the road and playing the likes of UCLA and Stanford, playing Florida on the road, you got the Arkansas game at home, Tennessee here. I mean, those were some big-time competition that should have helped prepare Florida State for a grueling ACC schedule coming up.
Certainly think about some of those teams in the ACC. NC State really comes to mind, and what Wes Moore has created with the Wolfpack over a numerous amount of years. Seminoles, though, wanting to get to the top of those standings once again. Bouncing three-pointer by Snoop Turnage.
And we talked about the defensive prowess, the rebounding effort of Snoop Turnage, but you can see there, she can knock down the three as well.
56% for Florida State beyond the arc, matching overall from the floor. And once again, the lead is back over 30.
Shot clock winding down here. Alabama State got to get a look.
Turnage in the way of Harris. She'll collect the rebound. Latson quickly looking for her teammate down at the lower levels, and Snoop Turnage again. To talk about the 1-2 combination of Timpson and Latson. Latson and Turnage have a history together on the AAU level in high school.
Same spot, same result on the floor for Snoop Turnage. 6 points now for her on back-to-back threes.
Turnage averaging less than 25% from beyond the arc, and just like Bejedi, first 2-3 attempts go in. And Turnage again, another rebound and good defensive effort. Bejedi, hard drive with the shoulder, but she'll keep possession with the ball. And the subs come in for both teams.
Take another look here at the threes from Turnage. Sanaya Latson, again, drawing all the attention in the paint. Somebody wanting to try to stop the All-American Latson. Creating scoring opportunities for her teammates. Snoop Turnage, the beneficiary of that pass.
Seminoles already with 50 points, make it 52 with Latson's dose. They're on pace to go over 100 right now. If they keep this up.
Florida State's previous halftime high was 58 in a win over Charleston Southern in their opener. On pace to break that.
Tied a quarter high in the first quarter with their 34 points. Good bucket by Ackridge.
Freshman Ackridge now with 5 points to lead the way.
3 from Latson erases that positive moment for the Hornets. Latson already with 16.
Latson almost at her season average of 18 a game here in the first half.
Just so difficult for the Hornets to try and keep this pace. And now Latson showing the effort on the defensive end, pokes this one away, and she'll get another easy 2. It is a runaway for Florida State. 57-18.
That is a 15-2 run now for the Noles over the last 3 minutes.
Made their last 5 buckets to boot. Shot from outside. The Hornets trying to stay with the Seminoles, but Seminoles' ship is getting smaller and smaller in that spyglass. Drifting away are the Noles, running away. Foul on Florida State. Substitutions come on in. Latson will get a break. Hornets with the ball. 1:15 left off the back of Maria Gordon. That was a little nifty from Dakaya Sanders to gain possession. A little opening underneath the basket. Sort of a cheeky play right there. Highly intelligent. With Gordon's back to the ball. Good ball movement here from the Hornets, but still not able to finish the job at the net. Gordon, a nice little cut, shuffle, but Bejedi's wide open from beyond 3, and she knocks it down. 60 points for the Seminoles. Most points scored at a half this year.
Bejedi making it rain from long range today. 3 of 4 from beyond the arc for Bejedi. 11 points for her. Is the second Seminole in double figures.
You mentioned it, Melissa, 58 against Charleston Southern, and that is shattered for Florida State. About 30 seconds left. See if they maybe tack on another couple or maybe 3. Alabama State trying to just get to 20 right now. Here's Hooks working hard against Villegas. Timpson went up, but got dragged by Tillis with some contact, and Florida State will have an opportunity at the last shot for the half.
And no free throws yet, as that's just the 3rd team foul for the Hornets. But it will give the Noles one more possession here to end the quarter.
That's really one of the few positives right now for Alabama State is the low amount of fouls at the bare minimum. But it has been domination to the umph degree for Florida State. Less than 10. Game clock winding down. Villegas wanted another buzzer beater type 3. A little too short on that attempt, and Alabama State will have 2.7 seconds to make something happen. And they'll just honestly let the clock run out, try and get some positive vibes and talk it over in the locker room. Melissa, this was just as clean, big deficit as Florida State inbounds and is ready to rock and roll, and our snowman He's also in the basketball spirit.
He's ready to rock and roll.
Saying happy holidays, and so are we.
And so is Alexis Tucker. She gets a nice little floater there in the paint to get things going for Florida State.
I really appreciate everybody tuning in and watching this one. Hope your holidays are going swimmingly. It certainly is for the Seminoles tonight. Good effort by Whitney Dunn, but not enough to drop. Gets double teamed, does Latson, but finds Gordon. Florida State has numbers, finds the pass inside, now inside out to Tucker, and she knocks it down, buries it.
What an unselfish play from KK Timpson. Again, probably could have taken it up and scored after the nifty pass from Omaria. Gordon instead recognized that Tucker wide open and she could kick it out for the open three.
Yeah, they had the numbers in their favor, and you had a wide open Tucker. Why not take a shot? There's Harris.
Yeah, Cordesia Harris.
On the board.
A nice move, shooting it up high over the outstretched arms of Latson.
First points of the game for Harris. Latson does not get a friendly bounce off the rim or off the glass. And it's becoming pretty evident here, Melissa, that going forward for the Hornets, it's going to be Cordesia Harris's team, and she will be the tone setter once they enter their conference play. Still have Miami left in terms of non-conference on the road down in Coral Gables, but she has certainly been the bright spot here, one of the bright spot players that has stepped up. Back to Tucker for another three, and just like in the first half from Bejedi, Tucker comes out of the gates of a half, and she knocks down 2 threes.
And Alexis Tucker now jumping into double figures as well with 11, joining Bejedi and Latson already in those double figures. And then Sara Bejedi doing what she does best, draw those offensive fouls, wreaking havoc on the defensive end. And they're going to say it was Takaya Sanders. A little bit too much contact.
This one charged to the other number 4. That's Takaya Sanders with the offensive foul. As Tucker, see what she's done across her career. Texas Tech, UC Santa Barbara, and she just continues to pour things on right now. She has found a heat wave here.
10 points to start this quarter for Alexis Tucker. All 10 of the Florida State points coming from Tucker.
Averages just 8 points per game on the season. Tillis not even close to reaching the rim. Tucker could have taken that one again. Instead gives it off to Gordon. Latson's wide open for a 3. This one misses. But Timpson there, nice over the back shoulder pass, but Latson can't finish. Still showing the effort with her own offensive rebound. Awkward shot. And finally, the Hornets control. Good innovation by Timpson. However, Florida State can't finish the job, but now up by 50 points. Deep 3 from Whitney Dunn. Close, but no cigar. And Florida State will jog it up the court. Gordon, good pick set by Timpson. Blocked by Harris.
Nice defensive play there by Cordesia Harris.
Leads this team in blocks entering the night. So Harris doing what she can on both ends of the floor. Got the 2 fouls early in this game, so she hasn't been able to make the impact that she'd like to. But you can see the talent from number 20, no question about it.
See if they call that after the shot by Tucker, or if that's going to be on the shot. And if it is, they're going to give 3 shots to Tucker. They are going to say it was after the shot on the closeout. Tucker was knocked to the ground, so it will just be a team foul on Dunn. It is her 3rd.
You saw the slab there, 14 of 17 by Harris on the road in Chicago against DePaul. We talked about Dunn there. She just collected the foul. She had her career best 23 points. That was a return home for Whitney Dunn, who's originally from Chicago. In fact, went to Loyola University of Chicago. And a big block by Timpson. No chance for Ashley Gray.
KK Timpson coming over in help side. Swats that away from Ashley Gray. Gray comes from a basketball family as well. Her sister Alicia plays with the WNBA Atlanta Dream. Played at both North and South Carolina as a collegiate star. Won a national championship at South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Gray trying to get some reps and trying to get some offensive continuity, but no chance against Timpson. So Baby Gray got to rise up fast and got to work hard if you want to get it around Timpson. Hard pass from Tucker, trying to get it to Gordon. It bounces off the Florida State guard. Good spin by Sanders, charges through the paint. And that gets a lot of claps from the visitors' bench. Good effort shown by Sanders.
Nice play from Sanders. Leads this team in minutes played. Has started all 9 games. Leads the team in assists as well. Does a nice job distributing the ball for the Hornets.
Nobody has a positive assist-to-turnover ratio, but she has it. And an easy, what would have been an easy 2 for Tucker. Doesn't have the delicacy on that touch. But Sanders has the best assist-to-turnover ratio entering tonight, 25-27. So she's the best facilitator on the team to boot. Bejedi, hard challenge against Ashley Gray. She'll get the call in her favor. Let's take a look at Sanders working her way. Good move, faking out Tucker.
I think Tucker thought she was going to dish it to the corner. There was a teammate open in the corner. And good recognition by Sanders to realize she had a driving lane herself and just kept it, laid it in.
First free throw down for Bejedi. And you can see, this is obviously not the outcome right now Alabama State wants, but Coach Freeman Jackson wants her players to understand this is still a process. Going through this non-conference schedule, they knew it was going to be tough and demanding and grueling. And brutal was the word she mentioned when we talked to her on the phone, but doesn't want their confidence to get buried because they understand it's going to be a competitive conference play with the SWAC. Good pass by Harris, but a rejection by Gordon.
Yeah, and you look at this conference schedule, and you have to go on the road and play at Alabama, Memphis, SMU, Oklahoma, Auburn, DePaul. It's going to be a tough road. Maria Gordon making it a tough road here at the Tuck today with a big block and help side. Now Bejedi coming out.
She literally came out of absolute nowhere to make that block, and it looked like a freeway wide open for Sanders right to the basket, but Gordon jumping out of the forest and swatting that ball away.
Florida State is a team now with 5 blocks already in this game. When the littlest player on the floor is getting blocks, things are going well for the Noles.
And up by 50 points. The deficit just continues to get larger. Bejedi draws contact. And again, Alabama State not able to stay away from fouls. Not in foul trouble per se yet, but just too many stoppages and too many trips to the line for the Noles. But once again, Seminoles having their way with the Hornets. And the last time these two teams played was back in 2015 in March in the NCAA tournament first round, where Florida State came away with the big win, but
Florida State on their way to an Elite 8, the first in school history that season.
A historic year for Florida State. Was going to say was the 30th win of the season for the Seminoles at the time. En route to a big year nonetheless for the women of Florida State here to get to that Elite 8, Melissa. As 2 knockdown free throws for Florida State. Expands that big lead. The Hornets trying to find something coming out of Tallahassee that they can cling on to and take with them. Foul. Harris drew contact. It looked like on Gordon. Like kicking foul.
That's an unfortunate foul on Harris. She just got her feet tangled up. Both players going after the ball, chasing it down. Gordon's feet got tangled up with Harris's. I don't think there was any ill intent there to try to trip, but he just got kind of tangled up, but officials saw it.
That's what she's arguing with. Head referee Angelica Suffren. But it will be a 3rd personal foul for Harris. And another free throw goes down for Florida State.
Teammate Whitney Dunn already on the bench with those 4 personal fouls. Dunn, the second leading scorer on this team. Just 1 of 8 from the floor today with 3 points. And those 4 fouls.
Gordon, another 2 free throws. Florida State has only missed 1 tonight.
20 of 21 from the line for Florida State. Pretty impressive numbers.
That sometimes gets undervalued, especially in tight ball games when you're in your conference, those free throws are so vitally important.
Doesn't matter who you're playing. The free throw line's the same, right?
Very true.
That's going to leave
it doesn't
Coach
change
excited.
the stripes for anybody.
Still the same spot.
That's right. Same dimensions, same height. Have to have a good follow through and shot, and Florida State's doing a good job of that. But still, to enter, have that entering conference play is a good sign for Florida State. Especially when you're traveling on the road, you'll need those. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Alabama State.
Got to be able to get to the free throw line and then make them. Double trouble.
Arthur's driving hard. Shot clock winding down. Taken by Sanders, but not enough force or height to put that ball in. Gordon working her way back. Long range from Amaya Bonner. But no dice for the sophomore guard.
Yeah, Bonner actually the only player for Florida State that has not scored yet today. She averages about 7.7 points a game.
And entered with the best three-point percentage for Florida State. Hornets slowing things down, working the ball around. Shot from Carthers, collected by Summer Hicks, who had the first points for the Hornets tonight. After the Seminoles got out to a commanding double-digit lead. Hicks kicks it out. Carthers again, still can't get it between the rim.
Zakaya White with the takedown.
Excellent effort indeed. Gordon right back the other way. Beautiful floater with traffic in her face.
Aria Gordon now into double figures. 10 points for her after that last made bucket. That's an 8-0 run for Florida State over the last 3 minutes.
And Frida Freeman-Jackson will take a timeout. Will also take a timeout. Threes, but she's been a big contributor all over the floor, Melissa.
Yeah, Sara Bejedi, the senior on this team, leading the way, getting it done both ends of the floor, coming up with big defensive plays, knocking down threes, knocking down layups, making assists. Bejedi with the complete floor game tonight. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists.
You see the gradual growth in points per game over her career. Now firmly in double digits. She's mentioned the 15 points tonight, highly efficient from both the 2 and 3-point range. Just another offensive threat that Florida State's consistently seeing here in what's shaping up to be a really dangerous team.
Sara Bejedi wants to make the most of her last season here in Tallahassee.
Redshirt senior. Good three from beyond the arc. Ackridge, the freshman guard. A little positivity for Alabama State as they don't want this lead to get any more out of hand.
That's 8 points now for Ackridge. It's got to be a new high for her.
Only averages just over a point per game. Hasn't had much time. Turnover here from Christian Jackson. Tried to find Hall, but too many Seminoles in her way. Latson right back down the other way and draws foul. Draws the contact. She'll go to the line. Hooks called for the foul, number 3.
That was Jackson again with another solid defensive play for the Hornets. I loved her intensity. She's been able to come up with a couple of steals here tonight. Done some good things defensively, making it hard on the Seminole guards.
Closing in on 80 points are the Seminoles. Latson knocking down the first. Highly efficient free throw shooter. Does not get that one to go, however. And unfortunately, Talia Hamilton just put the ball back into her own basket. Off of the rebound. Oh my goodness, an own basket.
Don't see that very often.
Those are just the mistakes and just the mental lapses that Coach Freeman-Jackson just doesn't want to have happen, but it's just a focus and a mentality right now that Alabama State just has not consistently shown.
Trevor, the interesting thing to see, and I'm waiting on our stat monitor, is who gets those points for Florida State. If it's the last Seminole to touch it, it's Tania Latson.
Yeah, who shot
doesn't
the
need
free
any
throw.
help
No.
building her stats.
Not at all. Well, let's see if Alabama State can get those points back as Hall will go to the line, knocks down the first one.
Should probably know that rule, and I don't. We'll have to get some clarification on that one.
Just actions before thoughts. Not paying off for the Hornets in that instance, as Hall knocks down both. So needs to try and erase something really quickly and refocus, reshuffle. As Coach Freeman Jackson continues to look on and trying to guide her Lady Hornets through this game. Just a little bit under a minute 30 left in the third quarter. They've yet to allow 100 points in a game. They just have not been able to score and get the offensive production this season that they want. Long-range shot from Jackson misses, get an offensive rebound, but Jackson underneath the rim cannot control the ball. And the other way it goes for the players in white. Latson over to Bonner. Jackson getting right in the grill of Bonner, almost forced to steal. Villegas, sweet stroke from beyond, but Snoop Turnage showing the length of the arm to gather the rebound, puts it right back for two.
Turnage with her best effort so far this season, now 8.7 rebounds in just 12 minutes of action for the sophomore from Atlanta.
Knocked 2 big threes in this game already. So Turnage with a nice night. Corner 3, Jackson, not enough. Just another frustrating evening for Alabama State.
Foul gonna go on Tavares. SK White with another big rebound for the Noles. She had 5 rebounds tonight.
So White to the line. Seminoles a really good free throw shooting team.
Yeah, White on the season, 75% from the line. This is the first one there.
Nearly 90% tonight. Gets that one to bounce in. Now at 88% on the evening are the Seminoles.
I'm sure the fact that the Noles have gotten there 25 times will make head coach Brooke Wyckoff happy.
Compared to 50% for Alabama State. And the crowd coming into play against Hall. They manipulated what they thought the shot clock or the game clock was. Latson tries to go up, and Hall, you know what, says, I'm going to come right back with a block, denying Latson more points. So she shakes off the attempted shot.
Like this, because you want to play against the best and challenge yourself. And you can see there from that schedule, that's exactly what's going to happen for these Florida State Seminoles.
Get a nice break with the Christmas holiday. We'll come right back to work on the 29th. As we start this fourth quarter, and this shot for Alabama State as a little bit more of the depth comes through for Florida State. Timpson with the bucket. She'll get into double figures, but you see Lucia Navarro getting some playing time, just getting her 5th game of the year. Navarro, one of 2 players on the Florida State roster from Spain. There's another missed opportunity for Anaja Hall. Timpson denied underneath. Good effort by April Hooks, challenging Timpson. So look, this Alabama State team is going to continue to work hard and give the effort. It's just not coming together right now against one of the most dominant offensive teams in the country.
This is a tall task for the Hornets tonight against one of the nation's highest scoring offenses in the Florida State Seminoles.
Hard scramble for the ball as Bejedi with that shoulder drive against Cordesia Harris going down onto the hardwood, and it'll go the Hornets' way. Bejedi is really one of the strong shoulder drives of probably anybody in the country, Melissa. When she gets on a roll and goes downhill, it is really hard to stop her. You better be ready to hold your ground fast.
That compact body is incredibly strong.
And she's worked through injuries, finally healthy really for the first time in her career. Really prioritized rehab and has really done a nice job perfecting that body, is making it strong, as you said.
Always a force on the defensive end, one of the top defenders on the perimeter in the ACC.
Nicknamed OMG for a reason. Small but mighty from former head coach Sue Seminoles, the legend. Certainly living up to those monikers. Harris receives the inbound. Again, Timpson just staying strong, not getting out of place.
Timpson showing the ability to handle the ball there too. Crosses over. Thought she might bring it the whole way.
Navarro in the corner decided better to give it up than take the shot. Bejedi, that drive, nice bounce pass to Timpson, but mishandles it.
If they call that on the shot, that should send KK Timpson to the line, I think.
Go against Harris.
We're going to say she was not in the act of shooting, so.
It looked like Timpson had all of the ball potentially for that to be the case. So Harris avoids a personal foul. But it will remain with Florida State. 86-27, Tucker mishandles it. Steal for Jackson.
That's Jackson again on the floor, being aggressive on the defensive end.
But still not a lot of finishing ability for the Hornets. That's probably one of the next phases for Freeman Jackson's squad is to finish at the rim. A lot of chances tonight. Put back bucket for Timpson. This has been her quarter right now.
Timpson nearing that double-double, 12 points, 8 rebounds for the junior from Edison, Georgia.
Sanders, Hall.
And then a steal from KK Timpson on the defensive end, swatting it away.
Hall stands at 6'5", but Timpson's the one working hard and gets another bucket for her efforts. Timpson at 6'2". Has been winning that battle despite the height advantage for Hall. Just the talent just oozing from KK Timpson. Hall, there's a good feed from Ackridge.
That time Timpson was a little greedy, went for the steal. Didn't get it.
Jackson working hard here on the inbound, so
Jackson already has 4 steals. I love her defensive energy.
Yeah, a lot of effort. Lord Jackson is a couple swats. Alabama State will remain with the Seminoles as subs come in. In fact, there was a 4-way tie in terms of who was leading the team in steals for Alabama State coming into this game, but it's Christian Jackson's stat now with the performance she's putting out there on the defensive end. So, again, still a lot of work to be done for this Hornets team, Melissa, but you can see some things that you can still build off of. You see the offensive production from Cordesia Harris. You see the defensive capability from the likes of a Christian Jackson.
Maya Bonner with another really good look there. Looked like it was going down, rims out, but Avery Treadwell, the freshman there, to pick up the offensive board. Go back to the free throw line.
Very nice rainbow arc and stroke for that first free throw. Wasn't expecting the ball to get back that quickly for her, though. But does not get phased by it.
Officials ready to go. Just keep this rolling. No time to waste at the free throw line.
I think the Hornets want this one to go, too. They want to just like, they want to still put in a good effort here and finish strong, but they certainly have not liked the way this one has ended up. 92-29 in favor of the Seminoles. Here's Jackson driving away from the basket and draws a foul on Treadwell.
That's a Treadwell or Bonner? I think they are going to give that to Treadwell. Bonner thought it was on her by her reaction, but it was Treadwell with the body. That's one thing that the freshman has acknowledged that she wants to work on is she gets called for a lot of fouls. So has to learn to defend without fouling and use that size to her advantage. That's something that's hard for freshman post players sometimes to figure out exactly how physical can I be at this level.
Only her 8th game of the season coming off the bench. Turnwell, certainly a physical force, really hard-nosed competitor, and sometimes you have to learn how to dial that back a little bit and play more finesse, or at least more surgical, rather than just a little bit more brute force. Full court press. How about Harris? Sticking to her chest and hands like Spider-Man, gets the ball and gets a put-back bucket. So all of a sudden, Alabama State, a little full court press action. The ball will remain with the Seminoles, but this is an encouraging sign, not giving up. And how about the sticky hands of Harris and the effort and the wherewithal to get to the bucket?
Nice trap coming, and Bejedi had nowhere to go. I think she was actually trying to throw it off of the body of Harris.
Only the second basket for Harris this evening. Tucker, excellent job working underneath the arms of Tavares.
That's one way to beat the press, just take it the length of the floor and score layups on the other end.
Dunn has not had the follow-up game she would have liked coming off DePaul, but again, another bucket in for Cordesia Harris. Bejedi, good handle, but not a good finish.
Just lost the handle, maybe it looked like, right at the end, and didn't quite get it all the way to the rim. Good defense again by the Hornets.
Dunn with another drive. Gives it off to Harris, and Harris is heating up. 6 points here in a matter of perhaps less than a minute. It's so fast. Game well in hand for Florida State, but Alabama State still showing matches my shirt, my jersey.
And that'll be the end of the night for Cordesia Harris, unfortunately.
Fifth personal foul right there for number 20, and what has been a frustrating evening. Just got on a bit of a roll with 6 points quickly here in the fourth quarter. As you can see, not what she wanted to see and have happen to her.
She's gonna finish the night with 8 points, 4 rebounds. Only was able to play in 19 minutes. Again, the reigning SWAC player of the week.
Yeah, really got into foul trouble early with 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. Had to depart, slowly get her way back into the game, but that will be it for number 20, Cordesia Harris, as Anaja Hall takes over. Knockdown 3 from Villegas from deep.
Alabama State switches to that 2-3 zone that we thought that we would see. So Villegas going to try to shoot him right out of that zone.
Florida State has just cooked it all night long, as the Seminoles are approaching triple digits on the night. Still with 4:39 left. Hall pass over to Tavares, working hard but too strong over Turnage. As you see the depth for Florida State here as they're trying to get to those triple digits. Bonner out to Turnage, who has a couple threes tonight, and there's number 100 on the stat sheet in the point total for the Seminoles. Turnage, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
11 points now for Snoop Turnage, 7 rebounds. She might be on her way to a double-double.
Good bucket for Jackson. Alabama State trying to work hard and maybe get to 50 if they can turn up the heat. Bonner does not capitalize on the 3 as the depth for the Noles trying to get some good hearty reps. Foul drawn. Alabama State will go back to the line.
Again, Florida State trying to get the ball into the paint, get those paint points, but when the defense collapses, they are dangerous from the three-point line. Snoop Turnage making the Hornets pay. Florida State so far on the night, 48% from three-point range, 12 of 25 for the Noles from the bonus sphere.
And it's not exactly the identity that Brooke Wyckoff exactly puts out there too much, but it's certainly effective when you can have several sharpshooters from beyond the arc to bail you out of trouble when necessary. They have not had any trouble tonight, don't get me wrong, but certainly it helps when you have multiple weapons that can shoot from long range.
Well, you've got 4 players that have all connected on multiple threes. When you look at it, Snoop Turnage is connected on 3. Sara Bejedi 3 for 4.
How about Bonner adding at least 1?
Bonner joining the club. You got Villegas that's 2 of 5. Tucker 3 of 5. I mean, getting threes from a variety of players. just makes Florida State even that much harder to guard.
That was Bonner's first three of the evening, and that is a long list of threes here in the stands for the Seminoles. But the fans are keeping track of it. Just count them with us. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Even double digits there. That's 13 threes. That is not an unlucky 13 either.
Gloria keeping it real over there.
Marking them down, taking notes, keeping track for all of the Seminole fans here to see and witness. Hall, once again, too strong and over the basket. Swatted away by Treadwell to deny Takaya Sanders of a putback opportunity. It'll go back to the Hornets.
5'4" junior Sanders in there battling on the offensive glass, getting her team an extra possession.
Only Seminole not to score tonight is Lucia Navarro, not on the floor right now. She had a little bit of action earlier on, and Gordon gets fouled by Hall. Looks like she may have got swiped in the face. She's a bit shaken up and trying to walk that off. And Tanaya Latson will come in for Gordon. A little bit shaken up on that contact. Not exactly sure where she got swiped, but certainly agitated her. Ball back in as Latson comes back into the game. Wyckoff wants at least one of their starters on the floor at all times, and Villegas, well, if she keeps shooting like that, she'll be in the starting lineup someday.
Step back move for three from Carla Villegas. 9 points now for the freshman from Malaga, Spain.
All-time scoring record for Florida State is 114 points. About 2:20 left in this game. They are getting oh so close to that mark as a three for Alabama State goes down. Foul against Jackson before Latson was in the act of shooting.
Alabama State foul, 12, Jackson, their second.
And she will go to the line. Latson now could eclipse the 20-point mark. Reach the 20-point mark here with these free throws. There's 20 for Latson, 107 for the Seminoles. Now just 7 points away from the record. Make it 6.
Tanaya Latson already owns 5 20-point games this season. Make it 6 now with the 21-point performance here tonight.
There's only one 30-point performance thus far when she went off on the rival Florida Gators with 35 in Gainesville. Had 7 such games last season. But it is much more than just Tanaya Latson on this Seminoles team. A lot of weapons at Brooke Wyckoff's disposal. Shot from Hamilton. Again, can't connect with the rim. Latson right back the other way. Turnage. She'll drive. Kick out to Latson. Pull up 3. A little too short. Alabama State team rebounding. Carthurs and Hamilton there to collect. Hornets. And a shot off the mark by Dunn. Rita Freeman Jackson still looking on. Been hard to watch for her Hornets, but knows that if taken the right way, they will certainly build off of this as much as they can. Try to get stronger as they are closing in on conference play. Like we said, only one more non-conference. Their challenge out of the Miami Hurricanes and Coral Gables before this calendar year is over. Less than a minute to go. Another ball shot missed. Ackridge with it, but here comes Latson. Easy layup underneath. Now it's 110 points. Only 4 away from the record. But I don't know if there's going to be enough time for the Seminoles to tie that record. Here's Dunn. Shot from beyond is Hamilton for long 2. See if Florida State, how aggressive do they want to be, if at all. I think that will be it.
Brooke
I think it's
is told tonight, Latson, no.
I think it's a mercy at this point. And that's a welcome sign for Alabama State. But an absolutely dominating performance for the Seminoles to round out and finish conference play. Seminoles get their 9th win of the season, a final of 110-45.